Chosen one, you need to hear this right now. That whisper you heard in the night was not your imagination. It was not a random thought drifting through your restless mind. It was a signal, a summons, a divine interruption breaking into your timeline to let you know that heaven has something urgent to reveal. You are not like the others around you, and that is why your spirit is sensitive enough to catch a frequency that most people miss. In the stillness of the night, when distractions quiet down and the world is asleep, your soul becomes like an open doorway. And in that doorway, the voice of God slips through, not always in thunder, not always in a vision, but sometimes in a whisper so faint it almost disappears if you don't lean in to listen. That whisper was chosen for you, tailored to your destiny, crafted in heaven's language to awaken something inside of you. Chosen one, you've always sensed that your life carries weight beyond what's visible. You've felt the pull of something greater, the ache of a mission too vast to explain to others. People may have dismissed your sensitivity, mocked your intuition, or told you that you're too much. But heaven sees what they do not. Heaven knows the rare vessel you are. That's why the whisper came to you. That's why you could feel the air shift, your heart quicken, your mind sharpen in that moment, because the eternal was brushing against the temporal, and you were caught in the crossfire. Do not ignore it. That whisper is not casual. It is a warning, a promise, and a preparation all wrapped in one. It is the kind of message that can redirect the course of your entire life if you choose to respond. Many have heard the same whisper but dismissed it, thinking it was a dream or a fleeting thought. They return to sleep, both physically and spiritually. But you, the chosen one, you are being asked to rise. That whisper is the opening of a scroll with your name written on it, and inside that scroll lies revelation, instruction, and destiny. If you ignore it, the scroll will close, and the moment will pass. But if you lean in, if you listen, if you choose to take this seriously, you will discover truths that not only explain why your life has been so different, but also unlock what is about to unfold. In the coming moments, I will reveal why this whisper was sent to you, what it truly means, and what heaven is preparing to do through you. But hear me clearly, this is not for the faint-hearted. This is not a word for everyone scrolling by. This is a sacred call for the few who are ready to embrace their true identity. Chosen one, the whisper was real, and it was for you. What brushed against your spirit in that moment was not human imagination, nor was it the echo of your own thoughts. It was the breath of the Almighty carried like a current, slipping past the noise of the world to land directly in your heart. The Creator speaks in whispers because only the attentive can hear. If it came as thunder, all would notice. But because it came as a subtle stirring in the night, only the ones attuned, only the ones awake in spirit, receive it. That was the test, and you passed it. The source of that message is not to be confused with fleeting emotions, not to be mistaken for the clutter of your subconscious. This came from the throne itself. It carried the weight of eternity, and it touched you because heaven has marked your life as significant in this season, the same way ancient prophets felt the stirring of visions they could barely describe, the same way watchmen of old would hear the sound of the trumpet before it was blown. So too have you been tapped on the shoulder by something beyond time. Do not shrink back. This is heaven's way of pulling you closer. That whisper was both a key and a knock. A key unlocking something hidden inside of you, and a knock asking you to open the door wider to what God is about to do. And here's the mystery: you didn't just hear the whisper heard you. It sought you out. It found you. It aligned itself with your exact moment in life to let you know that you are not wandering aimlessly. You are being guided, shaped, and prepared. Think of the patterns you've noticed lately, the way circumstances seem to form a tapestry you didn't weave, the late-night thoughts, the unshakable impressions, the timing of certain conversations. It is not random. These are signals converging into that singular whisper you caught in the night. You were never meant to interpret it alone, because the source is divine, And so is the interpretation. What is coming will not look ordinary. It will not fit neatly into the logic of the people around you. And that is why heaven made the introduction softly, because the human mind resists what the spirit already knows. You are not being asked to understand everything today. You are being asked to trust. Trust the one who sent the message. Trust the one who placed eternity within you long before you knew its name. Even now, as you remember the whisper, you may feel a shiver across your skin, or a tightening in your chest, or a deep resonance in your soul. That is confirmation. The message is alive. It is still unfolding in real time, breathing through these words, reminding you that you are not disconnected from the source, you are entangled with it. So lean in. Let anticipation rise. What has been revealed so far is only the beginning. Soon the veil will lift, and the fullness of the message will meet you face to face. The whisper was not just a reminder that you are seen, it was a foretelling, a signal that something long hidden is about to break open in your life. This is the season when prophecy will step out of the shadows and stand in front of you like a living being, undeniable and unshakable. The word carried to you in the night was the announcement of a shift, one that will separate the path you've been walking from the path you're about to enter. It is as though heaven has been holding back a curtain, waiting for the exact moment to draw it aside. And last night was the beginning of the unveiling. What lies on the other side is not small. It is not a minor adjustment or a passing opportunity. It is a revelation so weighty that the whisper could barely contain it. That faint voice was the prelude to a roar. Imagine a seed buried deep in the ground for years, unseen, forgotten, pressed beneath the weight of soil and time. The world above it moves on, assuming nothing is happening. But underground, roots are forming, energy is gathering, life is stretching toward the surface. Then suddenly, without warning, the soil cracks open. That's the prophecy over your life. The cracking has begun. The whisper was the sound of soil breaking, destiny pushing its way into daylight. You are stepping into a moment where hidden promises will emerge. Blessings that felt delayed will start to manifest with startling speed. Doors you assumed were sealed shut will creak open, not by human hands, but by divine decree. This is why the message came in secret first, because when it happens, it will not be subtle. It will carry such clarity, such force, that even those who doubted you will have no choice but to recognize it. But here is the mystery. The blessing is not just external. The whisper pointed to an internal awakening. Yes, provision is coming. Yes, favor will surround you. But deeper still, your very spirit is being upgraded, restructured, aligned with the vibration of heaven in ways you cannot yet grasp. You are being tuned like an instrument, every string adjusted until it resonates with the symphony of divine will. That is why you felt it so deeply. It wasn't just information. It was transformation already beginning. The prophecy unveiled is this. You are entering a season of revelation where hidden things will be made visible. What was whispered in the dark will be shouted from the rooftops. The spiritual will invade the natural. The invisible will carve its way into the visible. And your life will become the stage where heaven demonstrates its reality. Yet notice the tenderness of how it began. Not with lightning, not with chaos, but with a whisper in the night. Because this is not about spectacle, it is about intimacy. The prophecy is not designed to impress the world. It is designed to draw you deeper into the heart of God. Others may witness the fruit, but only you will know the secret root that birthed it, the whisper that started it all. You may already feel the edges of this unveiling. A sudden clarity about relationships, a stirring of boldness when you speak, a hunger for things you used to overlook. These are not accidents. They are the first waves of what is breaking through, and soon, like a tide that cannot be stopped, the fullness will sweep over you. When it does, you will not question whether it is real. The prophecy carries its own evidence. The shift will be so undeniable that even your enemies will pause. The whisper was the invitation, The unveiling is the proof, and this is only the beginning of what heaven is revealing. The depth behind this prophecy will take us further still into meaning, into signs, into the hidden challenges and the sacred instructions that follow. But right now, let this truth settle. You have stepped into an unfolding that cannot be reversed. The prophecy has found you, the scroll has been opened, and the unveiling has begun. The unveiling was never meant to be a spectacle without substance. A whisper from eternity does not come to entertain you, it comes to realign you. That faint signal you heard carries with it layers upon layers of spiritual meaning. And if you allow it, those meanings will begin to rearrange the very architecture of your soul. Think for a moment about how the divine works. Storms do not come without shifting seasons, and seasons do not change without hidden cycles moving beneath the surface. What you heard in the night was more than a word. It was a turning of the wheel, a cosmic alignment in which heaven declared, "The time has come." And the time spoken of is not measured in hours or days, but in divine moments, Kairos time, where eternity collides with the present and destiny takes form. The whisper was telling you, prepare, because the atmosphere of your life is shifting. Light is about to flood the places that once felt like endless night. You are moving from a season of wandering into a season of appointment, from obscurity into visibility, from waiting into walking. Every delay, every detour, every ache that felt wasted is now becoming the very soil out of which your new chapter will grow. Nothing was wasted. Even the silence had purpose. This is the depth of the prophecy. You were not overlooked. You were being hidden. You were not denied. You were being preserved. Just as a diamond is formed under pressure in the dark before it ever catches the light, you too were being refined where no one could see, and now the whisper announces that the refining has reached completion. The divine furnace has done its work. What emerges next is brilliance. There is also a warning embedded in this meaning. For when light shines, shadows are revealed. When destiny unfolds, resistance often rises. The whisper prepares you, not so that you can fear, but so that you can discern. Not every door that opens is from heaven. Not every hand extended is trustworthy. That is why you must anchor yourself in the voice that called you. It is not enough to know you are chosen. You must remain aligned with the one who chose you. Consider the metaphors heaven weaves into your journey. The storm that once threatened you is now the very wind that will carry you into new places. The closed door that once frustrated you is now revealed as divine protection. The wilderness that felt like punishment is now the training ground that equipped you with strength no classroom could teach. These are not just poetic images. They are the reality of spiritual law at work in your life. Transformation is not random, it is intentional. Faith is not passive, it is active alignment. The whisper was your invitation to shift from survival into mastery, from guessing into knowing, from wandering into walking with precision. This is why you feel both the weight and the wonder of it all. Heaven does not waste whispers on the unprepared, and so the deeper meaning is this. You are being drawn into resonance with divine timing. Like an instrument that must be tuned before the symphony begins, your life is being brought into frequency with what God is orchestrating. Every string, every note, every vibration is aligning so that when the music of destiny swells, you will not be out of place, you will be in harmony. It may feel strange. You may feel the tension of old patterns breaking. You may feel the unease of relationships shifting, but that is not chaos, that is calibration. Just as a compass shakes before it settles on true north, so your spirit may tremble before it locks into the direction of divine will. Do not mistake the trembling for error. It is proof that alignment is happening. And here is the beauty of it. Once aligned, you cannot be unaligned. Once tuned, you cannot be untuned. Once awakened, you cannot fall back into slumber the same way again. The whisper marked you permanently. It was heaven's fingerprint pressed against your soul, leaving an imprint that will carry you forward whether you fully understand it or not. This is why depth matters. If you only hear the surface, you miss the treasure. But if you allow the whisper to echo deeper, you will discover that it is not just a message about what is coming. It is a mirror of who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is the very fulfillment of prophecy itself. The unveiling continues, but now you see it not just as an event to witness, but as a transformation to embody. The meaning was never outside of you. It was always written inside, waiting for the whisper to awaken it. And now, awakened, you are ready to see the signs that will follow. When heaven releases a whisper this precise, it does not leave you without confirmation. The message carries markers subtle, sometimes strange, but always unmistakable once your spirit recognizes them. These signs arrive to anchor your faith, to remind you that what you heard was not fantasy, but the unfolding of divine reality. One of the first signs is repetition. You will notice the same phrase, the same image, the same stirring appear again and again in unexpected places. A verse spoken by a stranger, a dream that lingers beyond waking, a thought that returns with persistence no matter how many times you push it aside. Repetition is heaven's way of ensuring the whisper does not dissolve in doubt. Another sign comes through alignment. You will suddenly find yourself in the right place at the right time, colliding with conversations or opportunities that seem orchestrated. It will feel almost too precise, as though the world itself bent around you to ensure the connection happened. That is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Pay attention also to the stirring within your body. Sometimes your spirit speaks through sensation, goosebumps without cause, a rush of warmth, a sudden shiver in the stillness. These are not random physical reactions. They are signals that your inner being is resonating with what heaven is releasing. You are not imagining it. You are feeling the touch of the unseen. Then there are the disruptions. Things that once fit easily may suddenly feel heavy or out of place. People who were comfortable companions may start to feel distant, as though they no longer walk at your frequency. This too is a sign. Heaven disrupts what cannot travel with you into the next chapter. It is not rejection, it is redirection. Dreams too will play their part. You may wake in the night with symbols etched in your memory, a key, a door, a flood of light, a road stretching forward. These are not meaningless images. They are prophetic codes written into your subconscious, urging you to pay attention. They arrive as echoes of the same whisper you already received, reminding you that the message is alive, unfolding across every layer of your being. Finally, notice the quiet assurance that begins to settle in your spirit, even when nothing outward has changed. Circumstances may still look ordinary, but inside you sense a shift. The anxiety that once ruled you begins to loosen. The questions that once overwhelmed you no longer hold the same power. Instead, there is an inner knowing, a gentle confidence that whispers, "It's already happening." That inner peace is itself a sign, because heaven always confirms its word with a witness in your soul. Do not dismiss these confirmations as chance. They are threads woven into the fabric of your days, proof that the whisper is real, that the prophecy is unfolding. Look closely, and you will see that the signs are not coming, they are already here. But alongside the confirmations come the challenges, hidden, quiet, and often unexpected. These are not punishments, they are tests. They arrive to strengthen the very faith the whisper awakened in you, to refine your resolve so that when the prophecy fully manifests, you will be able to carry its weight without breaking. The first challenge is silence. After the whisper, there may come a season where heaven seems quiet again. You will look for another word, another sign, and for a time it may feel as though the voice has withdrawn. This is not abandonment, it is training. The silence is meant to stretch your trust, to teach you to walk by faith and not by constant reassurance. If every step came with confirmation, you would never develop endurance. Another challenge is resistance. Once the prophecy begins to stir, forces that once ignored you may suddenly push back. Old patterns may resurface, temptations may feel sharper, and even people close to you may misunderstand your journey. This resistance is not a sign you are wrong, it is evidence you are moving right. Pressure only comes against those who are advancing. Disappointment will also try to creep in. Doors may open and then close again. Promises may seem delayed. Opportunities may slip through your hands. These moments test whether your hope is anchored in outcomes or in the one who gave the whisper. If your faith rests only on what you can see, disappointment will crush you. But if your faith rests on the eternal, you will remain steady even when the visible falters. Loneliness is another hidden challenge. As your path becomes more defined, fewer people will understand it. You may feel set apart, unable to explain what is happening within you. The temptation will be to retreat into isolation or to dilute your journey to fit back into the comfort of the crowd. But remember, set apart does not mean abandoned, it means chosen. Loneliness is often the echo of elevation, and then comes the challenge of waiting. Destiny rarely unfolds on the timeline we prefer. There will be moments when you feel ready, but heaven says, not yet. Waiting tests your patience, but more than that, it strengthens your character. It chisels away impatience, pride, and self-reliance, until what remains is a vessel prepared to carry glory without cracking. Do not despise these challenges. They are sacred. They are the proving grounds of prophecy. Every obstacle you face in this hidden season is carving depth into you, depth that will hold the weight of the blessing when it arrives. Without these tests, the gift would crush you. With them, the gift will complete you. So when silence comes, lean into trust. When resistance rises, stand firm. When disappointment stings, anchor deeper. When loneliness presses, remember you are never truly alone. And when waiting stretches, let patience have its perfect work. For in enduring these hidden challenges, you are not being punished, you are being prepared. Preparation is never passive. When heaven releases a whisper as precise as the one that found you, it also carries instructions, sacred steps meant to shape you into alignment with the coming fulfillment. The prophecy is not just about what God will do, it is also about how you will respond. The first instruction is simple but not easy. Guard your atmosphere. Not every voice deserves access to your spirit right now. When something holy is gestating within you, careless words can choke it. Pay attention to what you listen to, who you confide in, and the environments you step into. Some rooms are too small for your destiny. Some conversations are designed to drain you. Protect your atmosphere like a womb protects new life, because what is developing inside of you must be nurtured, not exposed to unnecessary toxins. The second instruction is to cultivate silence. The same way the whisper entered in stillness, your spirit must learn to rest in that same stillness daily. Set aside time where no noise distracts you, no scrolling, no constant busyness, just presence. In the silence, you will hear more. Not always in words, sometimes in impressions, sometimes in sudden clarity, sometimes in a peace that speaks louder than sentences ever could. Silence is not emptiness. It is the chamber where divine guidance resounds. Third, align your actions with what you have already been shown. Faith is not only belief, it is behavior. If you sense that new doors are opening, prepare yourself as if they already have. If you believe provision is coming, steward what you have with wisdom now. If you know a greater calling awaits, begin refining your skills and disciplines today. Do not wait for the prophecy to arrive before acting in agreement with it. Move in faith, and heaven will meet you in motion. The fourth instruction is prayer, but not as you've known it before. This is not the prayer of desperation, but of partnership. Speak to God as though the whisper is already alive in your life. Thank Him in advance for what is coming. Declare alignment between your steps and His timing. Ask for discernment to distinguish true doors from false ones, genuine allies from hidden adversaries. Your words shape the spiritual atmosphere, and your prayers are the language that aligns you with the blueprint of heaven. The fifth instruction: embrace simplicity. Complexity often dilutes clarity. As destiny expands, you will feel the temptation to scatter your energy across too many pursuits. But the whisper calls you into focus. Do not dilute yourself trying to satisfy everyone else's expectations. Streamline, simplify, cut away what no longer serves. When the next season opens, you must be free enough to move quickly, not entangled in what should have been left behind. Finally, the sixth instruction: release fear. Fear is the greatest thief of fulfillment. It whispers lies louder than the voice of God if you let it. Fear tells you that you are not ready, that you are not worthy, that the prophecy cannot possibly be meant for you. But the whisper came anyway. The scroll opened anyway. Heaven has already said yes. Your only task is to agree. Release the fear. It cannot coexist with faith in the same vessel. These instructions are not suggestions. They are sacred alignments. Each one creates space for the blessing to land without obstruction. If you guard your atmosphere, cultivate silence, act in faith, pray in partnership, simplify your path, and release fear, you will not just be waiting for prophecy, you will be walking toward it, step by step, choice by choice. And know this: every act of obedience, no matter how small, carries the weight of eternal significance. Even when no one sees, heaven sees. Even when you feel invisible, your alignment resounds in the unseen realms. The whisper was the call. Your obedience is the response. And together, they create the symphony of destiny, unfolding in real time. Obedience may feel heavy, but you were never asked to walk this path unguarded. The same God who whispered into your night is the one who surrounds you now, with protection thicker than walls and higher than mountains. Every instruction he gave is paired with a promise. You will not be left exposed. Think of it like a shield wrapping around you, unseen but unshakable. When doubts rise like arrows, when opposition comes like waves, the shield holds. Even when you feel weak, that protection is not based on your strength but on his faithfulness. It does not flicker when your emotions shift. It does not waver when your confidence falters. It is constant, steady, eternal. There will be moments when shadows creep close, when voices try to convince you that you are alone. But in those very moments, you will sense the quiet assurance that something greater is with you, a peace that settles over you mid-chaos, a strength that rises in you when logic says you should be broken. That is divine protection in action, an invisible covering proving that heaven has not abandoned its word. Remember the night you first felt the whisper. That same atmosphere still surrounds you. It was never just a moment. It was the unveiling of a presence that has been walking with you all along. Angels are nearer than you realize. You may not see their forms, but you feel their assignments in the way danger misses you, in the way accidents are diverted, in the way hope returns, just when you thought it was gone. And beyond angelic protection, there is the assurance of divine companionship. God himself is closer than your breath, more present than your shadow. You do not need to chase his attention, you already have it. His eye is on you like a shepherd over beloved sheep, guiding, shielding, correcting, and carrying when needed. That assurance is not fragile, it is covenant. So even as you step into the unknown, you do not step unprotected. The prophecy that called you forth also secures you. The whisper that woke you up also covers you. No enemy can intercept what has been sealed in divine hands. No curse can override what has been marked with eternal promise. When you lie down, rest knowing that you are encircled. When you rise, move knowing that heaven moves with you. When challenges press, stand knowing that a wall of fire surrounds your spirit. And when your heart trembles, breathe in the reminder, you are not alone. You are never alone. Protection is not the absence of battle. It is the assurance of victory. And victory is already written into your story. Protection was never meant to keep you frozen in place. It was meant to carry you into transformation, the unveiling of what the whisper truly promised. Everything you have endured, every confirmation you've received, every challenge you've faced, has been shaping you into someone entirely new. Look back at who you were before the whisper came. The questions that haunted you, the doubts that weakened you, the fear that silenced you. Those were chains you didn't even know you carried. But something shifted when that voice brushed your soul. You are no longer who you were. You are awakening into who you were always meant to be. Transformation does not come in a single instant. It unfolds like dawn breaking across the horizon. First a hint of light, then a glow, then suddenly the world is bathed in brilliance. That is where you are now. The glow has begun. Soon the full light will reveal itself, and when it does, the changes within you will no longer be hidden. Your mind is being renewed. Clarity is replacing confusion. Vision is sharpening where once there was only fog. You are beginning to think with the wisdom of heaven rather than the fears of the past. What once overwhelmed you no longer holds the same power because you are seeing it from a higher place. Your heart is being strengthened. Where betrayal once left deep wounds, healing has taken root. Where loneliness once pressed heavy, presence has filled the space. Love not the fragile kind the world offers, but the unshakable love of God is reordering the landscape of your emotions. You feel lighter, freer, no longer bound by bitterness or regret. Your spirit is rising. The whisper did not just give you information, it ignited fire. A new authority, a deeper confidence, a holy boldness is awakening within you. You are not just surviving anymore, you are stepping into assignment. And that assignment is not small. It carries the weight of impact, the kind that ripples through families, communities, even generations. This is fulfillment, not simply receiving blessings, but becoming the blessing. Not merely watching doors open, but walking through them as a transformed vessel. The fulfillment promised to you is not just about what you will gain, it is about who you will become. A beacon in darkness, a voice of clarity in confusion, a living testimony that the unseen realm is real. And here lies the wonder. Fulfillment will not arrive as a distant event one day in the future. It is unfolding even now. Every step you take in alignment, every moment you choose faith over fear, every whisper you honor is part of the fulfillment itself. You are already living in it. There will come a moment when you realize the waiting has ended, when the prayers you whispered in tears have become realities you walk in daily. But even then, it will not feel like a sudden invasion. It will feel like coming home to the destiny your soul always knew was waiting. The whisper was the seed, the journey was the soil, the challenges were the rain, the instructions were the sunlight. And now, transformation is the tree breaking forth, bearing fruit that others will taste and know that God has been with you. Fulfillment is not a finish line, it is a new beginning, and you are standing at its threshold now. Now that the message has unfolded, let it rest deep in your spirit. The whisper you heard was real, and it has set a chain of transformation in motion that cannot be stopped. You are not waiting for heaven to notice you, heaven already has. You are not hoping to be chosen, you already are. Carry these truths as affirmations. Speak them aloud. Let them echo until they become the rhythm of your heart. I am aligned with divine timing. I am protected by eternal covering. End 4. I am walking in my prophecy. I am becoming the fulfillment of the promise. Say them slowly. Let them settle into the marrow of your being. Each word is a seed, each declaration, a reminder that what began as a whisper has now become a decree sealed over your life. And now receive this blessing. May your steps be steady, guided by unseen hands that never fail. May your heart remain unshaken, anchored in the love that cast out fear long before fear ever had a chance to speak. May your spirit rise higher, clearer, bolder, until the light within you shines so brightly that no darkness can withstand it. You are covered, you are strengthened, you are prepared. The scroll has been opened, the prophecy unveiled, and the fulfillment begun. Nothing can take from you what heaven has already placed in your hand. Walk forward in peace. Walk forward in confidence. Walk forward in gratitude. For the whisper was not only a message, It was the awakening of a destiny that will continue to unfold with every step you take. This is your moment, sealed with blessing. Go in faith, for heaven walks with you.